Bozeman and the Gallatin Valley aren't just one place. There's a whole collection of areas, and each one fits a different kind of buyer. Bozeman's the biggest by far, so much so that it's really several distinct places under one name. Downtown, the west side, and the south side, each with its own feeling. So which corner of this valley is right for you? That's what I'm walking you through today. The city and the town spread out around it, so you can find where you truly fit. And stick with me, because for a lot of the buyers I work with, the spot that fits best turns out to be one just outside of Bozeman they never thought to look at. Real quick, if we're just meeting, I'm Chase Heiland, a real estate advisor and broker here in Bozeman, and I made this move myself back in 2016. So I've sat in that same seat you're in right now. Let's start with the biggest area, Bozeman itself. Here's the thing most people don't realize up front. Bozeman really means three pretty different lives, depending on which side of town you land on. Let me walk you through them. First up, we have downtown Bozeman. This is the walkable heart of the city. Tree-lined streets, historic homes from the early 1900s, and Main Street a few blocks away. Who fits here best? The buyer who wants to leave a car at home, walk to dinner, to coffee, or to the farmer's market. But what does that run you? You're paying for location and character, more than square footage on land. So plan on an older home on a smaller lot at a real premium. If a life you can do on foot is the dream, downtown pays that back every single day. Trade-off is space, you'll feel that one in the yard. From there, let's move over to the west side, where the whole feeling changes. This is where a lot of Bozeman's recent growth landed. Newer subdivisions like Norton Ranch and Flanders Mill, and the pockets around it with parks, trails, and amenities all built in. So what do you get for your money out here? Newer homes, bigger floor plans, and generally more house than downtown buys, with a lot size that's modest but workable. It's the part of Bozeman for the buyer who wants something move-in ready and more modern in an established, family-friendly setting without giving up quick access to the rest of town. Growing families land on this side of town quite a bit, especially because of the close proximity to all the local schools. And then there's the south side, which has become the most active corner of our city. A decade ago, this was farmland and a handful of older neighborhoods. So what's there now? Thousands of new homes across subdivisions that didn't exist before, from design-forward communities like Gran Cielo to walkable mixed-use builds like Blackwood Groves, plus larger lot and luxury pockets closer to the foothills with Hyalite Canyon right there for the outdoor side of life. This one's for the buyer who wants new construction with a real range of price points and the mountains a little closer at hand. It's the fastest changing part of Bozeman right now. So that's the city of Bozeman, three distinct lives under one name. Now let's line up those against the towns spread out around the rest of the valley. Let's head out of town to the northwest to our first stop, Belgrade, about 10 minutes up the road. It's grown right alongside Bozeman, and it really splits into two different places once you're there. There's the inner core, the older established heart of town near Main Street, with the more attainable homes on standard lots, a real small town center, and the shortest hop back into Bozeman. And then there's the fast growing south side down below the interstate, where whole master plan communities are rising up out of the ground. Places like West Post and Jackrabbit Crossing are being built as live, work, and shop neighborhoods with their own grocery, retail, parks, and trails mixed right in amongst homes. And then on the north side, there's also Meadowlark and other new subdivisions with modern builds on bigger lots than you'll easily find in Bozeman, but at the same price. So why do people make the move out here? Here's the part a lot of buyers miss. You may not realize how much Belgrade has grown or what's being built out there right now. For a similar home, you'll often get far more house and land for your money here than you would inside Bozeman. The honest trade-off is a little more time in the car, but what's that trade-off really worth? Belgrade and Bozeman keep growing toward each other fast, and that commute gap is narrowing rapidly. Give it a few more years, and it won't really exist. So the trade-off you're weighing today keeps shrinking while the value you locked in stays with you. Next, from Belgrade, keep heading west another 10 minutes or so, and you'll come into the town of Manhattan. This is real small town Montana. Deep Dutch farming routes nearby, one main intersection, and the Gallatin River just up the road, with some of the best fishing in the valley. Now, there's something that surprises people. For a town this size, prices run closer to Bozeman than you would think. Most of what sells out here sits on an acre or more, so the land is most of what you're paying for. It fits the buyer who wants elbow room, quiet, and a genuine community feel. And for someone who's fine driving 20 to 25 minutes into Bozeman for the amenities and sometimes for work. Carry on down the interstate another 10 miles or so to the west, and you'll reach Three Forks, where the wheat fields roll and three rivers meet to form the Missouri. Three Forks gives you two pretty different ways to buy in. In the historic town itself, the old city limits inside Gallatin County, you'll find some of the most affordable houses on this whole list with real in-town lots. But head north from there and you'll enter into the wheatland area of Three Forks. And this is the real value end of the valley where land really opens up. So what's the payoff in the wheatland area? Real acreage, room for horses, a shop for the least money on this list. It fits the buyer who wants the most space for the least money, and for someone who doesn't mind a 30-minute plus drive into Bozeman. There is one wrinkle worth knowing though. A lot of these bigger parcels farther out sit across the county line in Broadwater County, not in Gallatin. And that can change things like your taxes, your county services, and even which school district you're in. So confirm which county you're buying into before you fall for the price. And for a lot of the rural lots, especially north of Three Forks, a lot of them are still off grid. So check for the well, the power, and road access too. Now, let's go back to Bozeman and head the other way, east over the hill. Back through Bozeman and over the pass, about a half hour out, and you'll drop into Livingston. This one has a character all of its own, an old railroad town turned arts town. Walkable and a little quirky, with the Yellowstone River running right through it in Paradise Valley opening south towards Yellowstone. You'll get more house for your money here and a real downtown with its own identity. So what's the catch? There's two of them. Livingston is known for its wind, especially in the winter, and it can be relentless. And you're also commuting over Bozeman Pass, which can slow down or close entirely in a hard storm. If neither one scares you off, you're getting space and character for well under what Bozeman runs. That leaves our final but farthest stop, Ennis, about an hour southwest of Bozeman in the Madison Valley. This is fly fishing country in the truest sense. The Blue Ribbon Madison River running through it, mountains in every direction, and a small Old West downtown. Who moves all the way out here? Retirees, second home buyers, and remote workers, because the place itself is the whole reason you'd come. The reality check is the remoteness. Jobs and shopping are limited, and that hour each way is a real daily work commute. The reason to move to Ennis is for the life it offers. And for our final stop, it's the outlier of the whole list, Big Sky. This is the one place that plays by its own rules, and it's in a category all of its own. So what makes it so different? It's a world-class resort community up in the mountains, and it's grown into a major draw in its own right. And there are two main sides to it: Mountain Village up near the slopes and Meadow Village lower down by the golf course. Big Sky pulls in second home buyers, investors, and people chasing the mountain lifestyle full time. And there's almost nobody commuting from Big Sky to a desk job in Bozeman. So this is a lifestyle decision and an investment decision more than a where do I work from decision. The mountains are the whole reason you're moving. Big Sky is your place. So that's the whole valley and Bozeman broken into its real sides and the 6 towns spread out around it. Now for the real question, the one this whole video is built to answer: where should you live? Here's how I would narrow it down fast. First, start with the single thing you're optimizing for, because each place answers a different priority. Walkability and new construction, land and quiet, lifestyle and destination, or value with room to grow. These filters alone cut the list down quite a bit. And remember what I said at the start, for a good number of the buyers I work with, the place that fits best ends up being one just outside of Bozeman, somewhere they didn't take seriously at first. Now, does that make Bozeman the wrong call? Not at all. Bozeman itself might be exactly right for you, and for plenty of people, it is. The whole point of this is to look at the entire valley before you settle on one spot. So that way, wherever you land, it's a place you'll be glad to call home. So if you're weighing a move to Bozeman or anywhere around the Gallatin Valley, that's the work I do every day. And the process I use is built around both kinds of wealth. The financial side, like equity, timing, and long-term return, and the lifestyle side, like more space and a place that really fits your life. That's the thinking behind my Montana Move method. And there's a free guide that walks you through finding your exact fit linked down in the description. But if you'd rather talk through your specific situation, there's also a link to book a call, or you can search for Live in Bozeman and you'll find everything on my website too. Now, I want to hear from you. Which town or which side of Bozeman is catching your eye? And what's that one thing that would make or break it for you? Drop it in the comments because I read them all. This whole video is really just the map to get you started. Every place on it gets its own deep dive where I walk the actual neighborhoods, the price ranges, and what living there really feels like day to day. So subscribe and you'll catch each one as it lands. And I have one of those deep dives waiting for you on screen right now. And it takes you from the map to the streets. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.